So, dear student, today we discuss about the different tillage equipment. Okay, what do you mean by the tillage first? Okay. So, what do you mean by the tillage? First is the introduction of the crop productions require the numbers of operation for tillage. What types of operation before sowing of the crop? Yes, that is the crop production require the numbers of operation. First is the seed bed preparation, then sowing, fertilizing, spraying, dusting, irrigation, harvesting, threshing. The first operation in production of the crop is called the tillage. And what you mean by the tillage is the mechanical manipulation of the soil. What you mean by the tillage? First, it is the mechanical manipulation of the soil. Okay. It is the mechanical manipulation of the soil to provide the favorable condition for crop production, isn't it? Or it is a mechanical manipulation of the soil which is used to maintain, modify, or promote the changes in a soil structure in an effort to produce the more desirable soil environment for plant growth. So, what are the objective of the tillage? To obtain the seed bed suitable for different types of the crops. First, to add the more humus and fertility to soil by covering the vegetation and manure. Second, to destroy the weeds and to prevent their growth. Is it? Now, next, to aerate the soil for proper growth of the crops. Then to increase the water absorbing capacity of the soil. Next, to destroy the insect, pest, and their breeding places. To leave and the leave the surface in a condition to prevent the erosion by wind. To prevent the erosion by wind. And to increase the water holding capacity, thereby preserving the soil moisture. So how it increase the water holding capacity? Because the mechanical manipulation of the soil we are done. What happens? The more of spores develop in a soil. So in that course it absorb the water. So it also preserving the soil moisture. Then precision leveling of the land for irrigation and other operations. Okay. So, classification of the tillage. The operations are grouped under two main heads. First is the primary tillage. The operation performed to open up the cultivable land with a view to prepare the seed bed for growing the crops are termed as a primary tillage. So, what are the implement of the primary tillage? It is again classified as a tractor-drawn implement, which is operated by the tractor, or animal drawn, which is operated by the animal, bullocks, donkey. Okay. So tractor drawn is the moldboard plow, isn't it? It's called in Marathi as a nangar. Then disc plow is called as the tawa nangar. Okay, in Marathi, it is a disc plow. Then subsoil plow, chisel plow, and rotary plow. These are the primary tillage equipment. Animal drawn is the indigenous plow and moldboard plow, isn't it? So you can see here the country plow. Yeah, this is the country plow. It has its yoke. You can see here this is a share point. It is penetrated into the uh, soil. This is called as the shoe. Okay. Then this is part is called as the body. This is the handle. Okay. It is a bullock drawn country plow. This is a moldboard plow, single bottom. It is also bullock drawn. This is a handle. This part is called as the moldboard. This part is called as the shear, and this part is called as the beam. Okay. Now, a secondary tillage, the lighter and finer operation performed on the soil after primary tillage, but therefore after seed placement are termed as a primary tillage operation. An implement is for its called the secondary tillage implements. Okay, what are the implements secondary tillage? Either it is tractor drawn or animal drawn. So it's harrows, okay, then hoes, cultivators, and plod crusher. So what are the objectives of the secondary tillage operations? First is to pulverize the soil of seedbed in the field. Second, to destroy the grasses and weed in the field. Next, to cut the crop residue, mix them with the soil of the field. And to break the big clods and to make the field surface uniform and level. So what are the types of the tillage? Dear student, here it is again classified as the different types of the tillage. Is a minimum tillage, that means minimum soil manipulation necessary to meet the tillage requirement for the crop production. Second is the strip tillage, that is strip tillage, the tillage system in which only isolated bands of the soil are tilled. Okay, only isolated bands of the soil are tilled. Now third is the rotary tillage, that tillage operation employing the rotary action to cut, break and mix the soil. Then types of the tillage, okay. Now mulch tillage, the preparation of the soil in such a way that the plant residue or other mulching material are left on the or near the surface. Understand what you mean by the mulch tillage? The preparation of the soil in such a way that the plant residue or other mulching material are left on or near the surface. Then combined tillage, it is an operation simultaneously utilizing two or more different types of the tillage tools or implements to simplify, control or reduce the numbers of operations over field is called as a combined tillage. So tillage is performed by the tools, that is implement or machines. So what is the difference between the tool, implement and machine? Tool, it is an individual working element like a disc and shovel. It is called as a tool, but it is separated. The tool is attached to the either disc is attached to the plow, disc harrow, isn't it? But it is a tool. We can say it's tool. Okay. Now, what do you mean by the implement? It is an equipment generally having a no driving movement parts. This is plow, harrow. Okay. These are the called as the implement. It is an equipment generally having a no drive driven moving part. Example like a plow and harrow. What do you mean by the machine? Okay. What do you mean by the machine? It is a combination of rigid. It is a combination of rigid or resistance bodies having a definite motion and capable of performing these work. So understand what is the difference between tool, implement and machine. It is a combination of rigid or resistance body having a definite motion and capable of performing the useful work. So classification of the tillage implements according to the source of the power. First is the hand operated. Hand tools operated by human being by pulling, pushing or swinging action. And the tool consists of the handle of woods, working part of the tool which is made up of the iron or steel. What are the type? Handle type means spade, shovel, hand hoe, and cooler. Wheel type means wheel hoe. So animal drawn implement, it is a walking type and riding type. So tractor drawn implement, it is a trail implement. It is classified again the trail implement, semi-mounted implement, and mounted. So what I mean by the trail implement, the implement attached to a single hitch point by pin joint. It is attached to the 3-point link. You know that the tractor has some attachment provided to the rear side. It is called the hitch point, where the trailer hook is attached to the hitch point. And three, that is the lower link and one top link and two lower link is provided for attaching the implement to that link. Now the trail implement, the implement attached to the single hitch point by pin joint. The main body of the implement is supported on a ground by wheels. Such implement quickly attach or detach from the tractor. Second is the semi-mounted implement. It is rigidly attached to the tractor and has a rear wheel to support part of its weight. Or control is a very easier. This is called as a semi-mounted implement. Then mounted implement attached to the tractor with the help of 3-point linkage as an integral part by hydraulically controlled and is kept raised during the transport. And these implements are easy for turning and are either. Okay. The mounted implement, it is. So what do you mean by the tray? Then a semi-attachment is rigidly attached to the tractor, which is the rear wheel to support the parts of its weight. A control is very easy. But in mounted implement attached to the tractor with the help of 3-point linkage as an integral part by hydraulically controlled and is kept raised during the transport. These implements are very that means are easy for turning and are either. So according to the tillage operation, primary tillage implements all plow, that is the indigenous plow, that is breaking it used for breaking the hard pan. Then soil turning plow to cut what its function is to cut the soil, it to pulverize the soil, and it inverting the soil to the one side. Okay, so indigenous plow is used for breaking the hard pan. Then soil turning plow is called as the MB plow, mold ball plow, or disc plow. What its function is to cut the soil, it to pulverize the soil, and it inverting the soil to the one side. So you can see this is a block drawn moldboard plow. This is a tractor drawn moldboard plow. It is a two bottom. You can see here. This is one plow. This is another. That means here it is a two bottom plow. It is also the disc plow. Also disc disc plow manta. Yala disc plow and yala moldboard plow. It is called as a moldboard plow. This is called as a disc plow. So you see the difference in moldboard plow and disc plow. The moldboard plow is generally used to cut the soil, pulverize and inverting the soil, but it is used in a black cotton soil. Okay, but again you can see the these types of where the most of the clods and roti soil use the disc plow. They use the disc plow. Now secondary tillage implement, that is the harrow. So secondary tillage implement, you can see here the disc harrow. This is the single action disc harrow. This is double action, and another one is the disc harrow is again classified as a single action, double action, and offset type of. This is called as a blade harrow. So you can see it is the block drawn or block operated. This is a tractor drawn. Now blade harrow and other harrows like called as a guntka. It is improved blade harrow. It is a triangular harrow. It is also called as a triangular harrow. Then cultivators, interculturing in a standing crop, that is rigid type and spring loaded. Now hose is a hand hose, animal drawn hose. This is a cultivator. It is a tractor operated cultivator. This is a different types of the hand hose. Okay. You can see the arrangement of the disc harrow. It is again classified as a single action disc harrow. You can see this is a single action line of pull. You can see in this direction. This is a tandem type of disc harrow. This is offset type of disc harrow. So you can see that disc is flow the soil to the this side and this is in opposite side. And in the same way, it is flow to the this is flow to the opposite and this is flow to this is part of the tandem type and this is offset type. The main purpose of the disc harrow to uh, break the clods after plowing operation. It leveling the soil surface also. Now this is the blade harrow. It is a block drawn blade harrow. It is also preparing the second tillage operation after plowing. It is a blade harrow. It is Gunka type that is modified harrow. This is a break tooth or triangular harrow. It is used to breaking down the clods. This is a texture drawn cultivator. It is a spring type cultivator. Generally where the rocky field or rocky or where the stony uh, if it is a stony soil then use the spring type cultivator. This is the hand hose, different hand hose used for interculturing the operations, intercultivating operations. This is a wheel hose. It is used for the interculture operations to removing the weeds. Now the sowing and seeding machines. There are different types of the sowing and seeding machines. Then again the sowing and seeding machine contain the seed drill, row to row distance, planter. What is the difference between seed drill and planter? Seed drill maintain the row to row distance but not plant to plant. Planter maintain the row to row distance as well as the plant to plant distance. The sprayer and dusters, that sprayer contain the hand operated, powered operated airplane. Duster contain the manually operated and power operated. Harvesting machines are sickle, mowers, reapers, harvesting and cutting, harvesting and collecting the harvest. That is threshing machine contain the hand operated, animal drawn and powered thresher. Okay, now I want to stop here.